Hey, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to show you how to make a basic house beat in Ableton Live. We're going to be using drum racks and swing and making something that sounds pretty housey. So let's start off by creating a Midi track by right-clicking down here. And I'm going to select that, right-click, insert Midi clip. This is our Midi clip. I'm going to drop in an 808 drum rack. It comes with Ableton, so it's perfect for this example. I'll drop it in there, and yeah, here's our drum rack, and we can play it like that. But what I really want to do is I want to double click this MIDI clip here. First I want to right click and then loop it, and then double click it. And yeah, we can see all of our corresponding sounds in our piano roll sort of thing. It folds automatically, and this is quite useful. So with house music, the BPM is around like 120, 125, 128. You can go as low as you want or as high as you want, but yeah, let's go 125 for this example by going up here and clicking that. House music is 4 on the floor, which means that the kick is, 4 times a bar. So let's right click to make that easier, and I'll go quarter bar, bam. So the grid has changed, and what I can do is I can go to my kick note here, double click, and then double click down here. Hopefully you can see. Yes, you can. And yeah, we'll just give that a play. Actually, what the issue is I have my click track there. Let's turn that off. Let's go back, give that a play. All right, so there's our kick. Cool. So the next thing we need is a clap, and the clap happens every second kick. So let's find our clap, put it there. This might be pretty basic, but we all got to start somewhere. So the cool thing about house music is the hi-hats, and you alternate between the closed and open. So, and that happens in between every kick on the offbeat. So to make it easier, and this is, a tip that I insist that you use starting out, you get confused by the grids, is you right click and then you'll go eighth. And what that does is that makes a line in between every kick here. So what we can do is find there's our open hi-hat and then our closed hi-hat. I want my open hi-hat to be on every offbeat. Right? So now, that's pretty dope. What I want now is a closed hi-hat to occur on every 16th, right before the clap occurs. What I want to do is I want to clean this up a little bit, so I'll select all of my open hi-hats, bam, and then go down to my closed hi-hat here and just add in my closed hi-hat. Let's see what that sounds like. Right? Let's do that for everyone there. So now the hi-hats, I'll just solo, I'll solo the hi-hats. Right, and that's basically all you're listening to is the hi-hats, the alternate between open and closed. Double click on that again. I want to add a bit more swing, or not swing, I want to add something more interesting. So I'm going to add a hi-hat right here, but only I want it to alternate between these three, and then, right? So I'll do that. Let's see what that sounds like. Right, and that's kind of a classic house groove. Right, so let's see what that sounds like all together. How I solo multiple things at once is I hold control, by the way. Let's take a listen to that. Right, so we're missing something, and that is something called swing. And what that does, this kind of offsets things a little bit, gives it more of a, because right now it's like on every 16th, it's like really rigid, and it doesn't sound too great. So what we can do is we can apply a groove to this clip by going to this groove option down here, hitting this kind of spinny icon. What this is the hot swap mode. So I can kind of, what it does is it opens up this right here, and then we have all of these grooves: hip hop, Latin percussion, the Logic groove and swing. But the one that I'm interested in is especially for house music, is the MPC or the SP1200. MPC preferably because it sounds pretty neat. And for house music, I would strongly recommend the 16 swings. And what you can do is you can click on these and you can kind of audition them. And as you go up in number or whatever, it gets to be more exaggerated. Like that's a lot of swing. I generally stick, around just 53. Or maybe, yeah, we'll go 58. Hear that? That sounds pretty cool. What I'm going to do, since we're in hot swap mode, I'm going to double click. And what that does is that applies the groove to this MIDI clip. So you can kind of hear it now. That's more of a human feel. It's not so rigid and machine-like, which is pretty dope in my opinion. And if we want to actually see what it's doing, I'll actually duplicate this. If we want to actually see what it's doing, we can actually commit. And you'll notice, pay attention to these hi-hats. When we commit, bam, it actually offsets them off the grid slightly. And that's kind of the secret to that swing. It's the famous MPC swing. So again, I would recommend the MPC or the SP1200. And we can, let's just go back to this one. I'll delete that, move that back in. Oops, before we committed, it's still there, but it's not obviously committed, but it's still affecting the MIDI. And we can go to our groove pool, which is this little wavy icon right here. Bam. And what this is this gives you control over the global groove amount of your particular MIDI clip. And you can have multiple grooves applied to different MIDI clips, which is very useful. So yeah, we can adjust the timing. And we can exaggerate the amount. So this is it with no groove. And this is it with. Right? Sounds pretty cool. So yeah, basically that's your starting point. And I should briefly touch on velocity. So we have this hi-hat right here. And I'm going to hit Shift and select this hi-hat right here. These little bars down here are velocity. So this is also useful for your groove. We bring these down, it'll adjust the overall volume, and you'll notice what it does. Right, that adds a bit more swing. Anyway, this video has gone on long enough. This is your basic house beat tutorial in Ableton Live. From there, yeah, just work on it. And I might be back and I might do some more stuff with house beats to make them sound more housey. But yeah, that's your basic one. Add a bass line, add a sample, and you're off to the races. Anyway, hope you learned stuff. Take care and have a good one.